And this is the most important Courage the Cowardly Dog episode ever. And it's only 5 minutes. And I remember this, wait, where is it? I vaguely remember this episode on it about being like, about self-esteem and stuff. So, you know what, after the stress of playing a horror game, we need something wholesome. So... And I haven't watched this yet, so...
For centuries, there has always been this burning desire by us humans to get rich, to find love, to become successful or famous. And there's nothing wrong with wanting any of those. I just think many of our intentions and expectations are the real problem. And why is this? Well, many of us hold the belief that whatever we want the most will automatically fulfill our deepest desires and finally make us happy.
Oh, wait.
But the truth is, if
I did say that I wouldn't mention him. I did say I wouldn't mention him. But there is a very good XQC quote that ties into this very nicely. If I can find that. But basically, like, he was saying about how, like, throughout his life, like, he's always had... We're 42 seconds in and I'm already quoting XQC about how throughout his career, like, he kept hitting milestone after milestone after milestone. And with each milestone, he thought, right, once I get this, I'll be happy. Once I get that, I'll be happy. And then, like, the goalpost kept getting, like, pushed further. XQC Gala 2. That's pretty good for me. Only mentioning XQC twice. Oh, when does the fangirling end? But yeah, and like, I promise, I'm only bringing him up because it is wholesome, and he's not well known for being wholesome. However, it is a very sweet. It's a. I feel like you learn a lot. I feel like I learned a lot from the talk he had about how you have these like milestones in your head and you're like, oh, once I reach this point in my life, I'll be happy. Or once I have this amount of money, I will be happy. And then whenever he got to those stages in life where he had the things that he thought he wanted, the things that he thought would make him happy, he still wasn't happy. So the goalpost for happiness kept getting pushed further and further back. Is basically the gist of it. I don't do it obsessively. PewDiePie talked about this a lot too. Yeah, and well, I hope PewDiePie's happy now. He's got a very beautiful wife. And he's got a son now as well. Like, bloody hell, PewDiePie is really living the dream. Insane Resident Evil 7 content. Oh no, we just finished playing Resident Evil 7. But hello! It's right, he sold literally... Did he?
If we're not happy while working for those
PewDiePie
things,
sold
then
all his
chances
stuff.
are we're not going to be happy once we obtain them. Or at least, not for very long. Just look at poor Dr. Zalost here, for example, who is an evil scientist suffering from depression.
What's the good of having all the money in the world if it doesn't bring any happiness?
That's XQC! Even has the same hairline!
Throughout the episode, he tries to spread his negative energy to as many people as he possibly can.
I'm sorry.
Who knows why he's unhappy? It could be loneliness.
If he sees this, which I doubt.
Lack of purpose, or a
I didn't mean it.
of all three. Whatever it is, there's something very important that he fails to realize. And it's a lesson that can be learned from this character right here. This hunchback character from the episode The Hunchback of Nowhere.
Yeah, I vaguely
is
remember
implied
this.
by the show to be homeless. In the beginning of the
Oh,
episode,
mate.
he looks for a place to stay for the night, and everyone rejects him mainly because of his looks. They all call him ugly and hideous. So when you
That's
have
horrible.
no money, everyone in the world rejects you, and looks aren't on your side, how does one find happiness then? By expressing himself. The Hunchback is a very artistic individual and shows great talent in making music, shadow puppets, and acrobatics. Just like Muriel, he's an incredibly optimistic character.
Yeah, he
that
was
is
really
just grateful
nice.
to be alive. He also dislikes seeing people being unkind to others, which is interesting because people are unkind to him all the time, yet he doesn't mirror their behavior or blame society. Eustace is pretty much the main villain of this episode. He treats Courage
You know what? Eustace is the main villain of the whole fucking series. All those monsters in Courage the Cowardly Dog. This guy right here, there ain't anyone in the world more evil than him. Fucking, he's a Tory, he is.
as poorly as he does in every other episode, and he also wants
Oh.
nothing to do with the Hunchback, mainly due to his quote-unquote ugliness. So the
Have you looked in the mirror lately, Eustace? You're not exactly fucking Prince Charming yourself.
Hunchback and Courage take great satisfaction in giving Eustace a taste of his own
At least this guy has
medicine.
teeth.
You know how you spell ugly? You.
And you, sir, are extremely bald.
Go ahead.
Eustace, have no sense of hospitality.
But he called me bald.
Eustace, you are bald.
Oh my god, she's sassy.
It's also quite satisfying to watch as well. After all the BS Eustace has put Courage through, it's good to see somebody finally sticking up for the poor guy. At the end of the episode, the Hunchback thanks Courage for his kindness and hopes to find more people like him on his next adventure. He leaves with a smile on his face, very optimistic for the future. The point here is, it's still possible to find happiness in life even when things aren't as perfect as we want them to be. Now, don't summarize this as money doesn't buy happiness, because
Right. The phrase money doesn't buy happiness, I agree with. However, then how come you've got to pay for therapy? Therapy is like £40 an hour. So although money technically doesn't buy happiness, it does buy therapy. And I could do
don't
with some
agree
therapy.
with that statement. Money is great, and it can absolutely put
That
a
quote is
smile on our
problematic,
faces
yeah.
if we use it responsibly. However, it isn't everything. The way the
No.
Hunchback finds happiness is with
I
his
think generally money can fix a lot of problems, and those problems might make you unhappy. But having money doesn't necessarily make you happy. Like, you could have all the money in the world and still be miserable. You just gotta look at XQC. Oh no, I'm being mean to him today. I don't know what's going into me. Money buys a lot of things that would make you happy. Oh yeah, you can buy a lot of chocolate. XQC counter free. Oh no, we actually need an XQC counter on the stream, don't we? I'm gonna write that down. That's a bloody good idea. That is a good idea. Is what you do with the money is what counts, really. Yeah. And like, a lot of happiness is in like helping other people. I find that, like, whenever I do something nice for someone else, that always makes me feel better about myself than if I'd have done something nice for myself in the first place, if that even makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot. Yeah, you can do a lot with money, but it does come with its. If you have too much money, for instance, you still have problems. It's just your problems become different. You have different problems.
optimism, expressing himself, and doing
Like,
kind things for
I imagine
others. Not
it
to
causes
get
a lot of
anything in
trust issues, for
return,
instance.
but because he just wants to. This episode taught me You don't need any friends to be happy. You don't need $1 million to be happy. All you really need is self-love.
Aww.
This was made to express